Hey guys, I'm back. I say I'm back because I did almost an entire video using the old version of XDX, which had 5 bass drums in it, before I realized, I'm like, okay, who's the missing bass drum? So now I'm back with the 4 bass drum version. Matt's not going to be there on Wednesday, so I'm covering his part, which means I need to learn his part. So I'm going to share to you what I'm doing to learn that part, so that Matt, now you're going to hear about what your part is supposed to be, and then also the other of you can kind of figure out how I approach bass music and maybe how you can do to help make it a little bit smoother as well. First thing we do, and I think that you guys always do this, is mark out your parts. I've got mine marked through the downbeat of measure 28 because that's what I really want to work on to begin with. I also went ahead and actually numbered every measure. That way when we say, hey, let's go to measure 14, you guys don't have to count back and there's no question about where we're actually at. So what I'll do always is as I look at the music and I say, okay, this is a unison part. So I take away all the parts and I just look at how it's supposed to go. So starting at measure 3, I've got 1 and 2 and 3 la li 4 la li 1, a 2, 3 and 4 e and a 1 e and a 2 and 3 e and a 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 li la 1. And that carries you through measure 7. So you got that part and you get going over and over and over with that. 1 and 2 and 1, 2, 3 and okay, boom, just like that. So once you get that over and over in your head and you get it figured out what that unison part has to be, then you start breaking it out. So once I've done all that, I look through my parts. So I'm playing Matt's drum, so basically I'm on the C line. So I start out 1 and 2 and 3 la li 4 la li 1, a 2, 3 and 4 e and a 1 e and a 2 and 3 and a 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 li la 1, just like that. And that 1 actually doesn't exist. That's Wes's 1. 1 and 2 and click, Wes, Veronica, Veronica, Okay, so I'll keep on going through and try to figure out all those parts. Moving forward, measure 7, the quarter note triplet continues. 1, li, la, 3, li, 4, li, 1. Okay, so it skips. 1, li, la, 3, li, 4, li, 1, la, li, 2, la, li, 3, la, li, 4, la, li, 1. So it's all triplets. 1, li, la, 3, li, skip, li, skip. Okay, hold straight on through. 1, li, la, 3, li, 4, li, 1, la, li, 2, la, li, 3, la, li, 4, la, li, 1. Alright, so basically starting the second half of measure 6, as you see that triplet, you can carry that all the way through. 1 and 2 and 3, li, la, 1, li, la, 3, li, 4, li, 1, la, li, 2, la, li, 3, la, li, 4, la, li, 1. Now you break out your parts. Now for Matt, it's actually kind of interesting because the triplet at measure 8 looks kind of intimidating. 1, li, 2. But it's just a continuation, really, of what's happening in measure 7. So I get to rest for the first two beats in measure 7. 1, 2, li, 1, 2, 3, li, 4, li, 1, li, 2, 3, la, li, 4, la, li. So really it's just this beat. 1, li, 2, li, 3, li, 4, li, 1, li, 2, li, 3, li, 4, li, 1. Except that we remove a 1. 1, 2, 3, li, 4, li, 1, li, 2, 3, la, li, 4, la, li, 1. So when you look at that as an entire phrase, that helps pin it down a little bit, because I know that we get to, like, through the big hits, like we'd have the tendency to get through the big hits at measure 7. Yeah, we got it, but you know, it keeps on going. And if you actually look at your part, you can see that those parts may repeat just like straight on down the line. 1, 2, 3, li, 4, li, 1, li, 2, 3, la, li, 4, la, li, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. And that ends sort of the intro, the big section. So next up, I take a look at it and say, all right, I've got this unison part, I see my parts, I know where the notes are supposed to go, but how am I actually going to play it? Because I know the unison parts, we want all the sticking to be the same. So if I look at the very end of it, if I look at those unison triplets on measure 8, those are big unison triplets. And they end on the downbeat of 9, well, Wes has got the right, so Wes has got to carry through and end, so he ends with the right-handed lead. So that means that beat 3 needs to be on your right, which means that whoever is going in, it looks like it's Sam, into beat 3, needs to do a pickup with the right, left, right, left, right. So that's going to be right, all those doubles are going to have to be right-handed. So coming down from measure 7, 1, 2, 3, and it's natural sticking with the right hand, so it's right, right, left, left, right, right, left, right, left, and release on the right for Wes. So the way that I look at that for Matt's part on measure 7, his first hit on beat 3 is going to be a right, then right, left, then left, so Veronica can get the 1 la on her right, right, left, and then leads into a natural sticking Li 2 for Matt, and then La Li 3, and Sam can release and play those unison parts and bang them on out. So when you look at your parts, don't just look at them as like, okay, I can get them in there. So, well, wait a minute, we're on a destination trying to get to some location. And if your hands are out, then not only is there a chance, first of all, it's going to look weird right off the bat. It's going to sound weird because you've got different heads doing different things based on which side is facing the audience. So it's going to sound a little bit weird. It also makes it very difficult to memorize because once you have a pattern down, you can just work that pattern, and that's where this so-called muscle memory comes from. But if you're not working a consistent pattern, then you're never going to memorize it. Or maybe you can, but it's going to take a lot more effort. So knowing that sticking pattern, I will take it from measure 7. 1, 2, 3, Li 2, 3 la li 4 la li, 2, 3, 4, 1. And that starts with the left, so we can release on the right on measure 10. Let's try it again. Beat 3, it's all right, left, so that's right-handed leads. Downbeat of 4 is a right. Then 3 and is very clearly right, left. And then beat 5, you've got a 2 and an and of 3. Those are right, left. Then coming into measure 6, 1 and 2 and 3, li, la. And it looks like Wes is going to start downbeat of measure 7 with a left-handed stroke. And then Veronica gets her right, left, right on to release on a downbeat of 3. And so those are sticking patterns, that those are kind of defined for you guys. So anyway, let's try it again. 1 and 2 and 3 la li 4 la li 1, 2, 3 and 4 and a 1 and a 2 and 3 and a 4 and 1 and 2 and click 1 da 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 da. Okay. Now, as a gut check, I'll put on the metronome. This thing is marked at 170. I started it stupid. We'll start it at 150 beats per minute, just a little bit slower, but to see if we can get the groove. 1, 2, 3, go. 1, 2, 3. See, I lost it. So try it again. 1, 2, 3, go. 3 la li 4 la li 1. Okay, a little bit behind, I'm losing the groove. So then what I'll do is I'll go back and I'll do it again. So where did the groove fall apart? What happened is I stopped counting on measure 7. So when I got to beat 3 on measure 7, I didn't know where I was going. So let me try it again. Special emphasis on measure 7. 1, 2, 3, go. A little bit behind again, screwed up measure 7. 1, 2, 3, go. I don't know why I'm releasing on 1, so I gotta check myself and not do that. Also check my sticking pattern. 1, 2, 3, go. 1, 2, 3, 3, 4, 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, sticking. 1, 2, sticking. 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, sticking. 1, 2, behind. 1, 2, okay, there we go, there we're getting. So what I'm doing over and over with these little reps for myself is I'm analyzing my own playing, I'm saying it's off, and what I'm trying to do is pursue a point where it's just like, where I'm satisfied with the way that it's going, and then I can move on. And then what's going to happen is if I take this and turn it upside down, 1, 2, 3, 4, okay? Even though I think I know it in my head, you know, with the metronome and everything like that, that repetition over and over and trying to make it perfect is what's going to result in you memorizing it. So let's try it again from the top. 1, 2, 3, go. 2, 3, 4, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we get into the 3/4 measure, which this thing doesn't follow, so I'll have to skip ahead. Alright, moving ahead. I'll skip that 3/4 measure because it's a 4-lit, basically 4 on 3. Then we get back into 4/4 measure 21. And we've got that same quarter note triplet going again. And it sort of speeds up a little bit, but Matt has a second partial on the second half of the measure. 1, li, la, 1 and a, e, and 3, 4. 1, li, la, 1 and a, e, and 3, 4. Dun, 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 dun. Dum 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 and 2 and so I'm just like making noises here, beatboxing in and out, but I can very easily sing it as well if you're in the habit of singing. 1 li la 3 li la 1 and a, e and 3, 4. 1 e and a 2 e and a 3 li la 1 2 and 3 li la 1 and 2 and 3 and a 4 e and a 1 e and a 2 e and a 3 la li 4 la li 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 li la 3. Okay, I dragged the triplets right there, but you guys get the idea. So just analyze the part as a unison. Then I look at Matt's parts, and it looks like the hardest part that Matt has is the partials inside of these triplets. These quarter note triplets, and then the 16th note run. 1 and 2 and 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3. And then I gotta be sure not to release on 1. 3 li la 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 li la 3. Boom. Try it again. 1 li la 3 li la 1 and a e and 3 4. 1 e and a 2 e and a 3 li la 1 2 3 la li 1 and 2 and 3 and a 4 e and a 1 e and a 2 e and a 3 li la 1 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Okay, so I'm having problems a little bit with measure 27. It looks like Matt's part is actually on beat 2, so I'm screwing that up a little bit. So let me go back and try it again. Start measure 25. 1 and 2 and 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3 li la 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 li la 3 4 1. Okay, again, the big triplet on measure 28 is 1 li la 3, releases on the left hand. Okay, so that specifies what's happening before the unison 4 and on measure 27, 4 and 1. Okay, coming into that, Veronica has basically got to start her part on the and of 2 with the left hand. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 li la 3. Okay, everybody else is out there on their own. They could use rights all the way up if they so desired. However, Wes has got to start on the downbeat of 1 because back on measure 26, his and a 3 leads into that quarter note triplet and then releases on 1. So Wes's sticking defines what happens back in measure 26. Now Veronica and Matt can go right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, back and forth all the way into those triplets, so that's not a problem. Quarter note triplet, looks like Wes has got some action to do on measure 24, especially because he's got the 2 and 3 li la 1 and 2 and, so he's going to have to figure out the sticking there. But if you release on the left, that means that that 2 and has got to start with the right. 1, 2 and 3 li la. No, other way, it's got to start with the left. 1 and 2 and 3 li la. And for the rest of you guys, that means that needs to be a left-handed quarter note triplet on measure 24. So you can see how we started on the release, which is the downbeat of measure 29, worked it backwards all the way, and how we want to play measure 28 and measure 29 does have an impact on how we play measure 24. So these are the sticking patterns that you guys have to track all through that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start on measure 21 again with the sticking pattern, and we'll just see what we get. 1 li la 3 li la 1 and a e and 3 4 1 e and a 2 e and a 3 la li 1 2 and 3 li la 1 and 2 and 3 and a 4 e and a 1 e and a 2 e and a 3 li la 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 li la 3 4 mute. All right, with the metronome. One. All right, not too bad. Try it again. Make sure it wasn't an accident. 1, 2, ready, go. 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3, 1, 2, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Okay, measure 27. I've got to get my sticking squared away on that. I also have to get my sticking squared away on measure 24. So on measure 27, my 2 I'm going to do with the right. And then on measure 23 and measure 24, looks like that unison triplet on measure 23. We're going to do the 2 unison hits as a right-left, which means I just think Wes is going to have to do a double on that. So, and a 3 right, so that gets him a double right there. And a 3 right, and then releases on the right. Then Wes is with the left hand, right, and then the quarter note triplet is going to be a left-handed quarter note triplet. So you guys are watching, follow me along and see if it makes sense. See if I screw this up. 1, 2, ready, go. Okay, a little bit behind on the 16th note splits, so I'll try it again. Try to sing it out. Got to remember to count. 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, left. 1, 2. Nah, screwed it up. 1, 2, ready, go. 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, and 2, and 3, and 4, 1. There we go. We got it. All right. So that's all I wanted to carry through. I know that it was pretty fast trying to explain how my brain was going and how I was trying to look at it. But the key steps are: 1, look at it in terms of unison. Figure out how all those sticking patterns are going to work for the unison. That unison will result on the sticking patterns for what you're doing. And then go through and rep it over and over until you're satisfied that you actually know what you're going to play, how you're going to play, and when you're going to play it. Use the metronome to check yourself, and then do repetitions over and over and over, trying to seek for perfection, because that's what we're trying to get. You guys look at your music and you're like, oh, it's easy, I don't have much note density. Well, that means that you are totally responsible for getting those notes when they have to be there, and it's not an easy thing to do, so you do have to practice it. So hopefully you'll take that for what it is. If you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, I'll see you on Wednesday.